3-1 is the score in favor of the Oilers as we move into period 2. Anderson, Huddy, and Coffey scoring for Edmonton. Yaremchuk for the Chicago Blackhawks. 19-12 the shots on goal, and there were 2 penalties to each team.
Now, as the Blackhawks try to get something going in this second period, you know, Howie pointed out about the defenseman pinching in. And really where that happens is good, strong forechecking because it forces the opposition to fire that puck around the boards. Now, here's where that forward plays a big role. He has to play deeper, have the 2 hash marks along the boards, get in deeper. That will prevent the defenseman from going in too deep because all he has to do is flip the puck off the boards and away they go. So I'm sure that's something that the Blackhawks have to talk about. If the pressure's on against them, is the forwards move in a little deeper and make sure that they hang on to it and freeze it. The worst they can do is give that thing away.
You know, that last period, not many face-offs during that entire period. In fact, there was only 20. 8 of them were in the Chicago zone, 7 between the blue lines and that neutral zone, and only 5 face-offs in the entire first period in that Edmonton zone. So Edmonton certainly had the pace up to where they wanted, and they did things pretty well defensively.
You'd never know they were in a layoff, would you? Boy, they got their game going, and the intensity and the emotion. Like Kevin Lowe talked about it, he said, we practiced the last 4 days like Glenn Sather had us going, getting ready for the Canada Cup with that high intensity and a lot of motion, a lot of flow. I mean, he worked us to the right into the ice. And it shows. They're ready.
Gary, let's remember Keith Brown was taken off with an injury. He was taken away from this Coliseum in Edmonton by ambulance with a hip problem. Their next defenseman in line is a fellow by the name of Randy Boyd, who they have with them here in Edmonton, and he might see some action in the next game.
Mark Messier in across the line. He tried to slide it across the Napier. He was tied up by Lysiak as period 2 is underway. Lysiak for Chicago. On the side for Sutter, his shot, and the save is made by Grant Fuhr as it's dumped back out into the center ice area. Definite concern within the Chicago Blackhawk organization as to the condition of Keith Brown, who grew up in Edmonton, played his junior hockey in Portland.
Another one of the keys, Tom Lysiak for the Chicago Blackhawks. Lysiak grew up not too far from Edmonton himself in a town called High Prairie, Alberta. Now lives during the off-season in Atlanta, Georgia. But Lysiak was talking about how much better he's felt as a hockey player since Bob Pulford took over with the Blackhawks. He's certainly come out of his shell and been a key factor for them in the playoffs.
Did you gentlemen always call your general managers Mr.?
Depends on how they treated us.
Denny Savard even called Dornhofer Mr. Isn't that something?
That's respect.
Must be the gray hair. Pass picked off by Murray. A shot saved by Grant Fuhr as he stood his ground. Great opportunity there for Troy Murray. Kurt Fraser tried to center it for Murray. He was tied up and couldn't get a shot away. Troy Murray picks it up again. Murray back at the net for Kurt Fraser. Out front for Troy Murray. A backhand shot. It went off a skate wide. The Blackhawks early in this second applying some good pressure as finally the puck is dumped down the ice by Edmonton. A race for it. Picked up by Willie Lindstrom. He had difficulty controlling it as he moved into the slot. Ben Wilson in the corner working against Hunter, unable to get it out. Lindstrom has it. He tried to center it. It bounces to the corner. McClellan back to the net is tied up. And now Troy Murray has it again for Chicago.
The Blackhawks trying to show the second period. We're starting the second period with some emotion. Their entire bench is standing up here just to start the second period itself. You can tell that they had a little chat amongst themselves in that dressing room, trying to get pumped up.
Lead pass for Olczyk. Hit shot, a rising drive off the glass. Troy Murray against Hunter manages to keep it in, and he goes to the bench on a change. Yari Curry moving slowly out of his own zone. He loses it to Larmer. Larmer for Fraser, and he fired it wide. Gretzky into the center ice area for Hunter. Hunter has it poked away back into the Edmonton zone, but Fraser was trapped offside with 17:53 remaining in the second period.
We loved this old house at first sight, but it sure needed insulation. Then our building supply dealer told us about the lifetime of savings with Styrofoam SM brand insulation, proven for over 30 years. It's strong, light, easy to use, and should be covered with gypsum board. Great for basements because it can't get wet and soggy. It won't mildew or rot, so it's ideal outside, too. One thing I found, though, if it doesn't say Styrofoam SM, it isn't.
Well, as far as the Blackhawks are concerned, they have to get mileage from Savard, Secord, and Larmer, and right now they're pitted against Gretzky's unit. And if those two lines go head-to-head, we could see a lot of goals.
17:49, the time left in period 2. 3-1 the score in favor of the Oilers. Lead pass for Larmer. He had difficulty controlling it at the line. Comes back to the point. A drive by Bergevin, and that went off a stick to the other side and ricochets out into the neutral zone. Gretzky across the line. He drops over for Curry. Quick release. It's blocked by Bannerman and held for a faceoff.
Well, it's always been the combination of Gretzky and Curry together, but Sather has really utilized that left side. He puts Semenko in there at times, Kozar, Krushelnyski, but it really doesn't matter as far as Gretzky's concerned. He has a job to do, controlling the puck, setting up plays, and what a performance he put on that last game in Winnipeg. It was the Wayne Gretzky show.
He equaled a Stanley Cup record with that 7-point performance against the Winnipeg Jets as the Oilers eliminated the Jets in 4 straight games, 3 goals and 4 assists. His final goal coming into the empty net. Gretzky gets it and then has it poked away as he tried to cut in front. It's loose in front of the net, and finally Murray clears it to an open wing. Dennis Savard moving back to his own line, drops it back there for Murray. Murray was looking for Larmer in the center ice area. He missed him with the pass, and it produces an icing call.
Look at some of the players on the Chicago Blackhawks. Steve Larmer, we were talking earlier about how he's going to, when he gets his scoring chances, he just all in one motion puts that puck into the net.
John, that's an interesting point you made, because that's really the key of goal scoring, is not only getting yourself in a good scoring position, but releasing in one motion. And when Curry and Larmer are out the ice together, you kind of look forward to watching those two guys, and who's going to get the better chances.
Larmer's nicknamed Grandpa by his teammates, a quiet guy. In fact, he was nicknamed Grandpa back when he played junior. They say he's 20 going on 60, but deceptive speed out there and a great player.
6th-round draft choice in 1980 by the Hawks. That was a great draft year for Chicago. Of course, Larmer went on to win the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year in 1983. Lead pass slides into Edmonton territory. Charlie Huddy is back there. He plays it around to the other side. And Paul Coffey takes a check from Secord as it's dumped around the boards, down the ice. Here's Curry breaking in. He scores!
Wayne Gretzky gets it going with the interference that he causes once he gets control of the puck. Now watch him tie up the defenseman, just grab a hold of him, and Curry does the rest. And Curry is blessed with so many skills, and once he gets Bannerman moving, he's got an easy target.
You know, Semenko's coming down the opposite side of the ice, and Curry tried to move it to him as much as he could. Finally, ran out of time and just put the puck right through the legs of the goaltender, Bannerman. Curry's 7th goal from Gretzky and Coffey. Curry and Gretzky are rolling along with Coffey in this game.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Something before dinner, sir.
I'd like half a bottle of Golden.
A half bottle, sir?
Of Molson Golden.
Howard, you won't believe this, but there's some weirdo over there who wants a half bottle of Golden. And this gentleman would like the other half. Sir, would you like the top half or the bottom half?
You're smooth, son. Smooth as golden.
The face-off to Bannerman's right with 16:15 remaining in the second period. 4-1. The Oilers now leading the Blackhawks. Krushelnyski against Gardner. He got the draw. Back to Kozar, who fired it wide. Vogelin dumps it into the corner. Ben Wilson trying to work out of there for the Blackhawks. Loses it. Krushelnyski attempting to move in front, and he was knocked off the puck by Murray. Long drive from a bad angle, handled easily by Bannerman. Ludzik loses it along the boards to Kozar. Now Patterson back of his own net. Drops it off for Wilson. Good forechecking here by the Oilers, as the Blackhawks are having a great deal of difficulty vacating their own zone. Brought in again by Hughes. Coming back, Patterson picks it up, then runs into a stiff check from Fogelin. It's dumped into Edmonton territory. Kevin Lowe is back for the Oilers with 15:25 remaining in the second period. On a line change, the puck is fired down the ice.
Here we can see the discipline of the Oilers, not getting trapped. They haven't given up a 3-on-2 or 2-on-1 in this game. Really playing well. They're making the other team take penalties. There you can see it again. Anderson's speed draws the penalty on Dupont. The Oilers, down the end of the season, played terribly. They've really picked it up in the playoffs, especially with their discipline at both ends of the ice.
Hockey night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs. The tradition continues.
What's smooth? And now comes in a tall green bottle with a twist cap.
Golson Mola.
Dupont gets the holding penalty. This time it was Glenn Anderson that went to the outside of Dupont, made him draw the penalty. Look at the speed. Anderson was gone. Earlier in the game, you saw Coffey do it to another one of these Chicago Blackhawks. The speed to the outside is an asset for the Oilers. They realize it, and they're using it.
They haven't even tried to go through the middle.
Huddy over for Coffey. Back to Huddy. He banned on the shot. Picked up by Napier. For Messier. Back to the line. Messier gets it again. Messier tried to go rink wide. It bounces to Huddy. Over to Coffey. Back to Huddy. His shot. Knocked down in front. They score! On the deflection. Anderson, I believe, took the initial shot, and Mark Napier may have knocked it in.
Well, the coaching staff of the Edmonton Oilers are a little concerned about the Oilers' power play. They weren't moving the puck quickly enough. They weren't getting that motion. Now you see it, how the Oilers moved it around, and the importance again, not so much the screen, but changing the direction of the puck. This time Napier gets that stick up, waist high, and Bannerman no chance because the puck changed direction. They're having fun, aren't they?
No, they sure are. But you know what was interesting is you saw what line was out on that power play moving the puck. It was Messier's line with Anderson and Napier. It wasn't Gretzky's line. Actually, when it comes to power play time for these Oilers, Messier's line moves the puck better than Gretzky's line.
Well, with 14:35 remaining in this first period, the Oilers are threatening, or second period, the Oilers are threatening to turn it into a rout. They lead at 5-1. Great with a drive right on. Bannerman with the save. Loose puck is brought out. Long lead pass for Yaremchuk, who has scored the only Blackhawk goal. Too far for him. The official on that goal, Napier from Anderson and Huddy at 5:18.
It might not be too long before we see Skorodinsky in goal with these Chicago Blackhawks. Bannerman, of course, has had trouble with some cold stomach muscles. He had a lot of work in that prior series. He may need a rest.
Daryl Sutter across the line with Yaremchuk, but Yaremchuk was ahead of the play offside.
Oh, we know what, we know how. We know we're born and we're born it now. So only the best will do. And the best is that Pepsi taste that keeps coming through. Come on, Pepsi now. You want the best taste. Come on, taste that best taste. Come on and make yours Pepsi now. Yeah.
The face-off just outside the Edmonton line. Gretzky is out there against Troy Murray. I think this was a matchup that Bob Pulford was attempting to get Murray against Gretzky.
Well, I don't think Sather's too concerned with it right now with a 5-1 lead. You know, he feels that Wayne Gretzky can play against anybody, and he doesn't mind it at all.
Gretzky with Semenko and Curry. He tried to slip it across to Curry, breaking in from the right side. It never got through. Semenko in the corner. For Curry, Curry back of the net to Gretzky. He was taken out of the play, gets it again. Tried to feed it out front for Semenko. And it was deflected to the corner, and now it's cleared to center ice. Dumped in again by Edmonton. Gretzky lost the stick, still managed to kick it free to Semenko to Curry, and he tried to deflect it, but it bounced off a Chicago player, and the Blackhawks bring it back. Olchek, rink-wide pass, it hit the post.
Actually, I think that got Grant Fuhr's goal stick first and went up and hit the post or crossbar. One of the few times that Edmonton has given up a 2-on-1 situation, and Chicago almost took advantage of it. Grant Fuhrer just got across, and his goal stick is amazing. He uses that as an extra tool. He goes right, he extends it as much as possible. Watch how he slides across the stick with it. Now see how he went up with the shaft of the stick? Just got a piece of it, and that deflected it enough to hit that crossbar. That's ultra slow-mo really showed it there, where you can see the puck come up and hit the shaft of the goal stick.
Well, our ultra slow-mo provided by the Nicest Corporation for exclusive use on Hockey Night in Canada. And if there are any controversial calls during the course of this series, it may certainly come in as an advantage on our replays. 12:38 remaining in the second period. 5-1 the score in favor of the Edmonton Oilers.
I don't think the goaltenders are going to like that ultra or slow-mo machine. They won't have any excuses anymore.
Willie Lindstrom moving in. Backhand shot. Hanneman makes the save. 24-16 the shots on goal in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Charlie Huddy plays it back at the net for Paul Coffey. Coffey lead pass for Hunter to McClellan. McClellan trying to move in. He was tied up by Ben Wilson. The puck goes loose in the corner. The Chicago defenseman plays it to the other side to Bob Murray into the center area for Lysiak. He dumps it into the Edmonton zone, but Darryl Sutter is way offside. Tonight's game on CBC is coming to you from Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
The next time you see a beautiful car on Toronto streets, chances are it's a Ford or Mercury. Our quality is showing all over town. Ford's got the best sales increase of the big three, better than all the Japanese imports put together. Toronto, all our 85 cars are backed by Ford's 5-year DuraGuard warranty at no extra cost.
Toronto, we can't be outdone. At Ford, quality is job one.
Topaz, you made a believer out of me.
McClellan Krushelnyski facing off against Gardner with 11:52 left in the second period. 5-1, the Oilers in front of the Blackhawks. It was 3-1 after 20 minutes. Doug Wilson did not dress for this game, and Keith Brown hurt early in the first period.
Well, it's no question that those two guys certainly are missed by Chicago Blackhawks, but this would be a great opportunity to really try a different style, try to do something else against the Edmonton Oilers, see if it works. Because it's going to be very difficult for Chicago to come back from a 5-1. They just don't have the firepower.
Patterson takes it to the corner. Being watched by Kozar and checked into the boards by the Czechoslovakian native. He was all smiles today in discussing the Czechoslovakian victory over Canada in the World Championship.
He certainly was. Big smile. Gretzky owes him the back half of the bet, too. But Skorodynsky, the backup goaltender, played some junior hockey in Calgary. Goes back to Calgary for the offseason. He's only played in a few minutes during the entire playoffs. That was against Detroit in the first round. So I have to wonder if Bob Pulford is going to get him into this hockey game.
11:26, the time left in the second period. The Edmonton Oilers comfortably in front of the Chicago Blackhawks in this first game of the Campbell Conference Final by a score of 5-1. Hughes for Krushelnyski. Back to Hughes. He couldn't get a shot away as he was tied up by Ben Wilson. It's loose along the boards in the Chicago zone. Poked free to Ludwig. Ludwig dumped it in across the line, intended for Patterson. It was broken up by Randy Gregg and cleared. Ben Wilson shoots it back in for the Hawks. 10:49 now left in the second period. Krushelnyski rink wide for Kozar. He simply spun around looking for Hughes. Hughes was unable to go anywhere with that puck. And now Lysiak has his pass picked off by Napier, who in turn was checked by Bergevin. The Oilers again with Messier leading the attack. Broken up at the Chicago line. Either side at the midpoint of this second period, able to get on track to get much of an attack organized. Broken up at the line, but it bounces to Anderson. Anderson for Messier. Messier is spun around by O'Callaghan. A penalty coming up against Chicago. This is Stanley Cup 85 on CBC.
Okay, guys, what are we doing for my birthday? Well, we thought we'd just take you down to RJ's for dinner. But it's my birthday.
So? Should have told us sooner.
Thanks, guys. I love surprises.
That's great. RJ, bring him the bill.
Nice.
Cause it keeps on tasting great.
Now Jack O'Callahan, a 6th-round pick in '77 from the Boston University, gets the holding call at 9:57. See if we can pick it up again. The spin around by Mark Messier, and that's that speed, the movement, and really a lazy penalty that the Blackhawks are taking. A lot of holding. And
I think Gary, in defense of those people, when those quick hockey players like a Messier come in and do that spin around, that's very, very tough to defend against.
Coffey looking for Messier in the corner. He couldn't control it. It comes back to the line and bounces away from Coffey. And Fuhr is forced to make the save. Coffey chased back into his own zone by Gardner. Gardner fighting for it along the boards. He comes up with it. Still has it. Plays it back for Patterson. Patterson finally is checked by Huddy. And Anderson has it for Edmonton. And Anderson has scored the first goal of the game. Coming in across the line with Messier, who has the puck. Messier tried to slide it back to the point. It was knocked away. Comes to Napier. Napier tries to go to the point to Coffey, who was racing in. It slid to Bannerman, and he holds it.
Murray Bannerman, as I said before, having trouble with some stomach muscles, plus the fact of his dehydration. He takes tablets called thermotabs, and he said, in fact, he told me just before game time tonight that he takes 5, 7, 8, sometimes 10 of them, even during the game itself, and he drinks all kinds of water. That dehydration has become a major problem in Murray Bannerman's career, but he fights it. He said that overtime game in Minnesota, it didn't bother him, and he said the result of the taking those tabs.
Well, he's going to have a problem right now because number 27, Messi, or Semenko is out there, and just watch him head directly in front of Bannerman.
Huddy or Gretzky. He tried to get it back to the line to Huddy, and it was picked off by Ludwig.
I think, Gary, you talked about Semenko being in front of the net. It's a 5-1 game. It's almost time for Bannerman to get the lumber out, and at least let Semenko know it's game 1. If you're going to stand here the rest of the series, you're going to pay for it.
Huddy pinching in from that point almost broke up the play as Ludwig was attempting to clear it. And finally, it is dumped down the ice, and it also produces a whistle.
Of course, you never did anything like that, did you, with the lumber?
Of course not. I wouldn't do anything illegal. You're not supposed to do things like that. Gary Curry, he feels he didn't play that well thus far in the playoffs, but things are coming around. He certainly had his good movements during this hockey game. He's a good athlete all around. Twice won an event called the Bermuda Cup in Finland, which is a tennis tournament between all the celebrities and athletes, excluding tennis players from the country of Finland, that he's won it handily 2 years in a row. Just a good all-around athlete.
Well, he still gets his shots in net because going into this game, he led the team with 34 shots. So you know that he's going to be at the right spot, getting that beat from Gretzky.
Curry has it, drops it back for Huddy. Huddy tried to center it, and it was cleared by the Chicago Blackhawks, picked up now by Troy Murray. And Murray trying to fire it on the left side, put it over the glass and out of play.
You know, one thing that we always talked about is how do you stop a team with a lot of speed? I think that the responsibility for the forwards comes to the forefront. You really have to stay right beside your check, get in front of them, and don't allow them that skating room. That's something that I think the Blackhawks have to try and do because they can't skate open ice with the Edmonton Oilers.
And Gary, one thing that the coaching staff of the Oilers realize is that most teams in the league try to clog up the middle of the ice now. Now, what Edmonton's done is they've realized that, and they coach their club to go to the outside. It's been very apparent during this hockey game. They've done it. They've made the other team take penalties. They've beaten the other team to the outside. Just super fashion. They've done the job. And the coaching staff, give them credit to the Oilers. They've certainly coached them properly in that fact. I mean, you look at Montreal, the way they play. They clog up the ice as much as possible. Teams don't react to it well. Edmonton does.
Curry in across the line with just 5 seconds remaining in the penalty to O'Callahan. Back to Gregg, a shot. It's deflected, and Bannerman down on his knees makes the save.
Here's where you see where the defenseman like Doug Wilson or Keith Brown with that experience being in front of the net doing the job. Here with another deflection towards Vanderman. He's had all kinds during this period. Watch it in front as the puck's deflected just before it gets to the goaltender right there. Vanderman, you see the puck slide underneath him, but nobody around the person that deflected the puck. If Keith Brown was there, he's the type of player that's tough in front of that, a very strong defenseman. They need that experience to clear people out.
Well, that ultra slow motion again. You know, that was used last year in the NFL playoffs and also in the Volvo Tennis Classic. I remember seeing it with McEnroe and Lendl playing. Quite an exciting piece of equipment.
The way McEnroe serves it, you need a good machine like that to be able to see the tennis ball.
8:03 the time left in period 2. 5-1 is the score. The Oilers leading in game 1 of the Campbell Conference Final. Savard controlling it. Takes the shot. He missed the far side. DuPont at the point, unable to keep it in. Here's a 2-on-1. Lindstrom with McClellan. Lindstrom tried to get it across for McClellan, and Bannerman came out of the net to poke it away. Great opportunity there for the Oilers to add to their 5-1 advantage. Now it's brought back by Ben Wilson for Secor. Secor winds up. His shot deflects high off the glass. Savard spun around, tried to center, broken up, and the Oilers come back again, led by Lindstrom. Drop pass for Hunter. Hunter is knocked off the puck by Ben Wilson, and it's picked up by Larmer.
That last shot by Secor, you saw him delay it, finally shoot it. He wanted somebody in front of the net. He knows he's not going to score from that far out.
Savard took a shot high and wide. Picked up off the boards, into the center ice area for McClellan. Coffey catching up in the play, so is Hughes. Hughes breaking for the goal, and he was effectively tied up by Bergevin and couldn't get a shot away. Bob Murray back of the net with 6:46 remaining in the second. 5-1. The Oilers leading. Trying to get it out again. And this time Chicago succeeds as Yaremchuk, their only scorer so far, works to the line, still has it. Finally Kozar comes in, checks him, and a penalty is going to be coming up against the Edmonton Oilers. With 6:28 remaining here in the second period, and Edmonton in front 5-1.
The enemy. Rain. A mere 1/8 inch can float your car off the road. Thus the rationale for Vector, Goodyear's unique all-season radio. So advanced, its crisscross tread actually pumps away water to help more tire and your car stay on the road. The Goodyear Vector. It simply performs like no other tire in the world.
Poza draws the penalty on the high sticking as Ken Yaremchuk was doing a pretty good job of controlling that puck. And watch that high stick coming up. The helmet goes flying, the glove goes flying. And Ken had his father here this morning watching the Plaka, giving a little encouragement to the Blackhawks. They need more than that right about now.
So the Chicago Blackhawks hold the man advantage, but Coffey wheels out of his own zone. He can fly. For Messier, winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, is the outstanding playoff performer last year, with Gretzky, Coffey, and Huddy killing off his penalty to Yaroslav Bozar. Troy Murray back to the line for Ben Wilson, over to the other side for O'Callaghan. He tried to slide it to Lysiak at the side of the net, attempting to deflect it. A shot, and in front of the net, Sutter unable to deflect that blast from the point by Ben Wilson. Wilson gets it again. He winds up. A shot right on. Loose puck at the side of the net. Sutter tried to dig it up and put it out high, but there was no room. Now it's Messier breaking out. Huddy trying to catch up with the play. So is Coffey. Coffey gets it over to Huddy, and it's intercepted. There was a case of the Oilers perhaps getting a little too fancy. Secor into the slot for Larmer. It bounces back to the line. Bob Murray with a drive high and wide. Savard tried to get it back to the point, broken up, and Edmonton comes out. Gretzky and Curry against Murray for Curry. Scores!
We have to stress the point again, fellas, of a forward play point on the power by this time Gardner again gets trapped. Watch 14. He's trapped. He pitches. He should have.
Got to take the man.
Right, now it's a 2-on-1. And when Gretzky's got the puck, you know you're going to get it up beyond the other side of the ice, and he just timed that pass perfectly on the stick. Now, the person that scores the goal, which is Curry, is a right-handed shot over there, so Gretzky has to put it behind him a little bit. And he just put it perfectly on his stick. Wide open goal.
You notice how Gretzky lofted the pass over the defenseman's stick and put it right on top of his stick so that he could handle it. Well executed 2-on-1.
24 seconds remaining in the penalty to Yaroslav Kozar, a shorthanded goal.
Again, let's watch the pass over to Curry. As Curry just put it right into the open side. Now remember, Curry's a right-handed shot, so the puck has to be passed back a little bit if it's going to be right on his stick. Perfectly timed by Gretzky in the net. You know, Gretzky he already has 2 shorthanded goals himself in the playoffs this year. One more, he will tie an NHL record of 3, which he already shares for the most shorthanded goals in the playoffs. Unselfish, Wayne Gretzky passed the puck again.
How many guys can make a pass like that, putting it over the defenseman's stick so that his wingman can control it? That's that soft hands that we're talking about. Some have cement, and then there's Wayne Gretzky.
Bob Murray plays it into the corner. He gets the pass again for Secord at the side of the net. He couldn't get a shot away, and it's dumped down the ice. Just 2 seconds remaining in the penalty to Kozar, and now the penalized Edmonton player is back. 4:24 remaining in the second. Savard across the line. Takes the shot, the save by Pure. Kevin Lowe back of his own net. Plays it around the other side for Kozar. He pops a boost for Fogelin, and it's cleared to center. Gardner overskated it, and it's dumped back into the Chicago zone for Dupont.
You just have to sit here and watch the way these Oilers are playing. I've never seen them play better. The discipline in their end of their ice is just awesome. They're just doing the job. Chicago can't get a clear shot. They can't get a rebound shot. And it's not how bad Chicago's playing. Edmonton's doing the job they've done it all playoffs.
Patterson for Ludwig, a shot. A screen drive, and Pure had to react quickly on that one.
You know, part of the maturity is when you have the bag, the lead, you don't fall into a shell or get overly aggressive and turn the puck over. And the Oilers have been very consistent in this way, and that's the maturity that Glenn Sater talked about his hockey club.
At Esso, we're an energy company. But saying so isn't enough. We've got to show you energy and enthusiasm. With ongoing research that pushes gasoline performance further ahead. To change as your gasoline needs change. And with good, friendly service, you've come to expect more energy from a company like Esso. And because you do, we're getting better.
3:38, the time remaining in the second. 28-19 now. The shots on goal in favor of Edmonton. The Oilers have had the quality shots in this hockey game. And they also have a 6-1 advantage. To the line, and Ludwig deflects it into the center ice area. Mark Messier being harassed as he works back into his own zone by Gardner. He had it poked away, and now the Blackhawks try to set something up. They're passing a little erratic in that center ice area. And it's deflected down the ice and into the Chicago zone. Ludwig looking on the right side for Patterson. He got it over to Ben Wilson. Tried to center it. Broken up by Randy Gray. Loose puck almost picked up off the boards by Kurt Fraser. It goes back at the goal, and Messier dumps it around to the other side for Glenn Anderson, who started things tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Head for Messier, too far. With 2:33 left in this second period. 6-1 the score. The Edmonton Oilers leading the Chicago Blackhawks. Game 1 of the Campbell Conference Final. Bergevin picked it off at the line for Troy Murray as he worked to the corner. He was knocked off the puck, and it comes out the other side for Napier. He tries to go back at the net. Having difficulty there against Kurt Fraser. McClellan comes in now. Fraser doing quite a job back at that Edmonton net. Finally, he's knocked flying, but it comes to the point of Bergevin. Bergevin, the rookie, pokes it into the corner along the boards and finally ties it up for a face-off.
We remind you that this program is copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited. You know, you really have to admire Kurt Frazier. He's hurt. He's got that rib injury, wearing a black jacket, and he continues to take that pounding.
He hasn't missed a shift in this game.
The attendance tonight, 17,308. That is 195 short of capacity. And there are still tickets available for Game 2 of this series on Tuesday night. The series will then shift to Chicago for Games 3 and 4 on Thursday and a week from tomorrow. And, of course, all games in the Chicago-Edmonton series will be seen on Hockey Night in Canada. Coffey on the left side for Hunter. He tried to return the pass as Coffey on the give and go was breaking for the net, but Hunter couldn't get to it. Now it's Sutter across the line. He's spun around, and the Oilers dump it into the neutral zone. Rink-wide pass. Lindstrom has to circle back into his own zone, try and set things up. Here come the Oilers again. Coffey for Hunter. A long drive high and off the glass. Back at the point. Charlie Huddy takes shot. Scores! It deflected off Bannerman's shoulder.
I think that also hit Lindstrom there because he was skating towards the front of the net. And that high rising shot from the point glanced off of Lindstrom. Let's see if we can pick it up. But again, the good forechecking set up that goal. Anyone might have gone off his shoulder. Dispenson is trying to get out of the way. We'll have to wait for the call.
One way or the other, it certainly screened Bannerman. Bannerman a moment ago had trouble with a high shot. Now this is another high shot, went right over his shoulder. Things certainly aren't going in the proper fashion for Murray Bannerman. I would think you'll see Skordinski in goal for the third period, but Oilers are doing the right thing. Just get the puck, fire it towards that net, see what happens. They capitalize.
Hey, John, there's a couple of ways of setting up the screen. You can remain in a stationary position, get in front of the goaltender, or as the shot is directed at Bannerman, just skate in front of him. So it works.
Yeah.
Huddy's second from Hunter and Coffey at 18:57. It's 7-1. 51 seconds remaining in the second period. Here's a 3-on-2 for Chicago. Savard leads the attack. In front for Olczyk. Olczyk went to the backhand, and Grant Fuhr came way out. Now it's Gretzky on a breakaway. Gretzky going in. Fired it wide. Gretzky was being bothered as he broke in by Bob Murray.
How about the save by Fuhr? You see how he didn't beat himself? He went up, made the shooter make the first play, and just simply stood there and stopped the puck. This guy doesn't beat himself anymore. There's another person that's matured as a player, Grant Fuhr.
And then the transition play quickly out of their own end.
Here's Gretzky again across the line with Curry, but he put himself offside as he spun around.
You know, that's what really amazed me about the Oilers. Grant Fuhr makes the pass and the save, and immediately the pass goes out, and away they go.
Few of the Blackhawks upset with the fact that after the whistle had gone, Curry put the puck into the open net. That's sort of rubbing a little egg in the face of the Blackhawks. The players responded. But, you know, on that last save by Grant Fuhr, we'll watch Fuhr how he doesn't beat himself. He moves across, he stands there, then he moves. Look how he sets. Perfect goaltending. And then, as soon as all that was happening, Gretzky knew he's not going to do any much good by coming back further than what he was, so why not get out in the open? The players pick up on it, and here he just missed the net with that shot. Amazing. Gretzky realizes no sense in me standing there while all that's going around the goal crease of Grant Fuhr. Why not get into the open behind the defenseman as they're watching the play?
He starts turning immediately as soon as his teammates pick up the puck, and he's gone.
Here's another chance for the Oilers in the final seconds of this period. Broken up and cleared as the siren sounds. And so the score at the end of the second period is Edmonton 7, Chicago 1.